17th District Congressman Greg Steube joins me. Good evening, sir. And as I understand it, your district, I think, is almost under complete evacuation order. Is that correct, or a good portion of it?
Yeah, we're at levels A, B, and C, so pretty much a good portion where most of the people live is under evacuation orders. Where your meteorologist was, Amy, she's in my district, and she's absolutely right. The biggest concern, we still have people recovering from Hurricane Helene, and there's debris everywhere. We've tried to resource as much of the debris trucks as we can to try to get that stuff off before Hurricane Milton gets here, but she's absolutely right. A lot of that stuff is going to turn into projectiles and be floating in the Gulf and get carried back out. So that is the major concern. Is I still have residents that are recuperating from Hurricane Helene that are trying to get their lives back on track, and we're going to get hit by this. The last track that I just saw before I came in has it coming into Sarasota. So that'll be devastating for our county and my district. And just south of the eye wall is going to be the worst for the storm surge. Hurricane Helene, we had 5 to 7 foot storm surge. This is looking at 15 feet of storm surge. That's into the second floor of residences that are 2 stories. So anybody that are in those evacuation zones, you have to get out. From Tampa down to Fort Myers, you have to get out. If you're in an evacuation zone, you become a challenge for first responders to try to get to you during a storm if you're stuck in a flooding house. So I encourage every single person, if you are in an evacuation zone, you need to get out now.
You know, listening to Governor DeSantis, I thought he was impressive. I mean, it sounded, look, the whole state is really spent in terms of energy and time, and they're weary, having just undergone Hurricane Helene, and there's still, as you note, there's debris which are going to turn into probably projectiles in the next 24 hours and cause more damage on top of this hurricane. But, you know, Florida does, as much as you can be ready, it does seem like Florida is ready at this point.
We are used to dealing with all of these hurricanes. Just since I've been in Congress, we've had Irma and Ian and Debbie and Helene and now Milton. So we're very accustomed to hurricanes here in the state of Florida. Our state is very nimble in dealing with this. Our counties and local cities are very nimble in dealing with this because we've dealt with it a lot. So rely upon your local governments and what they're telling you to do.
What about, look, you skew older in Florida, you have an older population. Do people have a place to go? How do they pay for the place to go? How do they get the transportation for a place to go? I've seen the pictures of your highways. Everyone is trying to flee the area, flee for their lives. I mean, it does seem like just an impossible situation.
That's a great point, because our shelters are all free. So we have shelters, they're typically schools, but they are Category 5 level to be able to withstand a Category 5. They are not in the evacuation zones. They're not going to flood. So if you are an elderly resident and you can't get out, you can get to those shelters and get there. I mean, in Sarasota County and in the state of Florida, they're paying for Uber to take you. If you don't have somebody to take you from your home to a shelter, call Uber, and the state of Florida is going to pay for it. So that is absolutely a concern. I have the most elderly district in the country. That's
assuming Uber hasn't likewise already evacuated, that the Uber is available. I did think, though, that it was, when I was listening to the governor, when he said that the state veterinary nursing homes, that family members can go there. They can withstand a Category 5. And so some sort of innovative things are being done, you know, where you're welcoming people into areas to stay where they might not otherwise stay.
Yeah, on my barrier islands, the water was cut off at 10 a.m. today. At 7 p.m. today, you can't get on, you can get off. So you can't even get onto the barrier islands because of the evacuation orders. But if you can get to a shelter or you can get somebody to a shelter, those things can withstand a Category 5 and they're not in a flood zone. So you should be fine, and they are free to citizens of the state of Florida or anybody that's in the state of Florida that needs to be sheltered during the storm.
Well, it's indeed going to be dangerous with all the predictions. So maybe let's hope it's fake news. We got this one all wrong. Congressman Greg Steube, thank you, sir, and good luck, sir.
Thank you.